Okay, man. Are parrots overrated? Are parrots not overrated, OP. From what I heard in the last video, they sound super OP, bro.
This video was made in partnership with CuriosityStream.
OP. Like, look at this. And they talk.
Despite starting out as a small, niche rogue build from within the dinosaur faction, the avian player base has diversified to an incredible degree. Given that dinosaurs had naturally high power stats, it's no surprise that some birds ended up opting for a DPS strategy. But what is surprising is how many bird players spec'd into high intelligence. The two leaders in this department are the corvids and the parrots, and while roughly equivalent in terms of their base intelligence stat,
their intelligence is on max, bruh. That is broken.
Parrots are far better suited to the intelligence playstyle for several reasons. The parrot has a lot going for it, with several powerful abilities complementing its great base stats.
Hey, yo,
so
get a
in this
room!
Video, I'll be going over all of the parrot's signature abilities in order to conclude where their overall place is in the meta. Let's begin with the Parrot Stealth.
I mean, they're colorful.
Most parrot players deliberately chose an abysmal stealth level, instead opting for vibrant colors that make avoiding detection near impossible. Lacking camouflage may seem risky for a build with less than impressive defensive stats, and it's certainly not without its challenges. But what this does accomplish is granting the parrot a bonus to all intimidation attempts, as the vibrant colors can surprise and confuse opponents. This strategy is normally only used in builds that are dependent on poison for defense, so it's a bit unorthodox for a non-toxic build like the parrot to adopt this strategy.
You see a frog like that, you know it's over.
The reason this intimidation strategy was so effective was that it had another complementary ability, the Syrinx Shriek, one of the loudest, most powerful sonic-type attacks in the game, with roughly the same volume as a gunshot.
What?
This can easily break the resolve of a nearby player, causing it to flee from battle. For defense, parrots don't really have much to talk about here. Their feathers do offer some protection from crush-type damage, but this is pretty minimal. The fact that parrots have hollow bones means that crush-type damage is actually super effective against them anyway. For mobility, I mean, there's the obvious, parrots are solid flyers. Now, of course, they aren't as agile as, say, goshawks or swallows, nor are they able to traverse entire oceans without resting, like the albatross. But flight is still flight, and because of this, they're able to evade just about any ground-based attack. So why is the parrot's mobility so high? Well, this is because they're also excellent climbers. Flight is usually difficult in dense forests and jungles, as there's a lot of obstacles that a flying player needs to dodge constantly. But because of the parrot's zygodactyl claws, climbing through a dense jungle canopy is no problem, as they can grip onto most surfaces with ease. For their vitality stat, there's not much worth discussing, except to mention that parrots have extremely long...
So wait, what are people doing with birds? Like, why do a lot of birds have the fucking band around its leg? Are like they keeping track of? Are they trying to keep track of like how many there are or some shit?
Lifespans. For power,
Tracking and
parrots
name?
rank surprisingly high.
Oh.
While not quite as devastating as an eagle's dagger-like talons or a falcon's razor-sharp beak, parrots do still have a seriously powerful bite. Most bird builds have a beak optimized to deal stab-type damage, with the move Peck replacing the move Bite in their moveset. Pecking is faster, has less end lag, and is a better move in most cases.
End lag.
The beak of a parrot, in contrast,
God
deals
damn.
crush-type damage. While not as useful in PvP, this gives them the ability to crunch through tough items, like, for example, tree nuts, which are worth lots of experience if you can crack them. With that being said, despite its low range, a parrot player can still deal serious damage with their bite if they can land a hit. This is all well and good, but let's be real, nobody is maining Parrot for its damage or arboreal movement bonuses. The main draw of this build is its intelligence. So how good is the Parrot in the role of an intelligence build? Although intelligence is arguably the most powerful stat in the game, high intelligence alone does not a top tier make. A good build needs other useful features to make use of intelligence. The Parrot build has this in spades. What's so impressive about the Parrot is that all of its abilities have secondary effects that synergize extremely well with a high intelligence stat. For example, in addition to being able to deal some pretty serious sonic damage, The Parrot's Syrinx is also a highly versatile communication ability, being able to easily converse with other parrots over short and medium distances. This is invaluable for facilitating team strategies, like for example requesting reinforcements to help drive away an enemy player with multiple simultaneous sonic attacks, or for warning allies of an aggressive enemy player. Parrots are extremely social, and because of their highly effective communication techniques, they can form some of the tightest bonds of any faction. In fact, because of how versatile their Syrinx is, they can even learn to communicate with other, non-parrot players, an ability few have unlocked. But it doesn't stop there. The parrot's flexible beak and zygodactyl grip, which primarily are useful for climbing, both have the secondary function of allowing the user to grab items or other players. This is actually one of the main reasons I consider parrots to be superior to corvids in terms of their ability to function as an intelligence builder, as crows have a much harder time gripping things than parrots do. The reason this matters is that being able to pick up and manipulate objects in the environment is the main requirement for the top-tier intelligence ability tool use.
That is crazy.
While there are plenty of builds with an intelligence stat high enough to allow them to equip tools, many of them lack the actual ability to do so, for example pigs and dolphins. Parrots are one of the few builds with great general dexterity. Lastly, I want to bring up the parrot's vitality again, as a long lifespan is a trait that is most beneficial to intelligence builds. Parrots actually have one of the longest lifespans in the entire game, rivaling the elephant and trailing only humans, Greenland sharks, and builds that have the trait negligible senescence like jellyfish and clams. This means that parrot players have a long time to learn skills, both through independent practice and through the teaching of higher level players. This again sets them apart from corvids, who unfortunately only have a fraction of a lifespan. The parrot build has been on the decline lately, as jungle servers get taken down and converted to farms, and as human players capture them in order to sell them to other human players who want to add them to their party. However, as with most top-tier intelligence builds, parrots are highly adaptable, and because of their unique skill set, many of them were able to escape captivity and establish entirely new player bases in several city servers.
They just living their life.
I consider this to be the hallmark of a top-tier build, to be best spec'd for gameplay in one environment, but able to—
It's like part of me is like, come on, this is so fucked up. Like, damn, like they gotta live. And then another part of me is like, we still need places to live. Like, we need a place to live, right? People need places to live. People need places to shop. People need places to grow food and make food. But it's just like, damn, like it's just so fucked up though.
To cope with shifts in the meta and survive in an extremely different environment. To get a more in-depth look at the story of how the Parrot faction has adapted to spread across a range of different city servers, I recommend the documentary Planet Parrot. A lot of the beautiful parrot footage featured in this video is from that documentary, and I consider it to be extremely well made. You can watch Planet Parrot as well as thousands of other excellent titles on CuriosityStream.
How does he manage to get ads that just...
CuriosityStream is a subscription streaming service that you've probably been sing the praises of for a while. Seeing as
I'm so confused on what's the ad and what's like he's just genuinely telling you should just check out. It's so confusing, bro. He just meshes it so well that I just get confused.